One of the first acts of this state was to guarantee energy security. And I'm sure you're keenly aware of the project that was Ardna Crusha. And in the 80s, the state boldly moved forward and built a coal power plant. Of course, we now know that that's not, nobody wants to continue with that into the long term. But it was an attempt to meet the demands of this state. I have heard nobody explain how we're going to meet the demands now. I've heard people ruling out stuff. Minister, you've ruled out an LNG base. Like you, I don't want to see fracked gas coming to Ireland, but we do have to have gas storage, particularly if our only source of energy, when wind isn't blowing, is going to be gas-powered. And we're going to have to get the gas that we're not getting through on boats, that it's going to have to come through the United Kingdom. Which has no requirement to treat us equally or to, in the event of a shortage, since they left the European Union. I've heard you rule out nuclear. I mean, the last time you were in government, you brought nuclear. I accept that nuclear is not cheap. But there is no cheap energy source available to us now. Yes, wind energy is cheap, but it's only available to us when wind is blowing. So how are we going to fuel our industries, our hospitals, our schools? This Parliament, for what it's worth fueling or keeping the lights on in. Because it's not worth keeping the lights on here if we cannot tell the Irish people how we are going to provide energy. If the first men and women who sat in this Dáil after Irish independence could clearly tell people how we were going to power the state, and we can't, then we do not deserve to keep the lights on here, Minister. Some of your colleagues are happy to import nuclear energy, but not happy at all to discuss that we would generate our own and have a degree of self-sufficiency and energy security. I'm not a proponent of nuclear energy, but I'm saying we have to be realistic and we have to examine all of the options available to us.